Okay. All right, guys. From the title of the video, you know what I'm addressing today. And some of you guys, actually a lot of you guys might know this already, because it was so much easier to just type up something on Twitter and just repost it on Instagram versus like coming on video and talking. But yeah, today I decided that let me just talk about it on my YouTube, especially for those of you guys that have been following my vlogs, which is something I kind of got into maybe last year. I was like, okay, let me kind of get consistent, but I was not, because I was dealing with a lot. But then I started getting serious, and in one of those vlogs from last year, I talked about how I moved to an apartment and the reason why. And if you guys know, one of the reasons was because we found out my mom had stage 4 breast cancer. My mom had stage 4 breast cancer, and she was living in Virginia by herself. And so in a way, because of us having the house and my sisters being here with me and my mom being just kind of by herself in Virginia, we decided that it would be best for her to come and join us in Cali so that she can start her treatment and we can be taking her back and forward for her chemotherapy and stuff. So she ended up moving to California. But then with moving to Cali, my house was like about an hour away from Cedars-Sinai. So we had to be like coming here, and so when she get her chemo, we had to like wait. Maybe we would basically sleep over at my friend's house or have my mom rest there for a little bit, then drive back to the house. But eventually I was just like, you know what, to make her more comfortable and for me to also be in LA just, you know, for work, making it easier, it would be best I just get an apartment. And so if you guys watch my vlog, I think I started like Vlogmas. So it is literally right around this time. I started my Vlogmas and I was talking about getting the apartment. Some of you guys were confused, but I told you about my mom's diagnosis. Fuck. Told you guys about my mother's diagnosis in that video, and a lot of you guys had so many encouraging words, and since from that day, a lot of you guys have constantly asked about how my mom was doing. Sorry, I'm trying not to cry. A lot of you guys constantly asked about how my mom was doing, and I give you guys some light updates. I didn't really put her in camera because I never wanted to use or seem like I'm using my mom's condition for like views or anything like that. But when I do get the chance, I do tell you guys like how she was doing. I really told myself like I'm not gonna cry. If you guys know, I talked about how I never wanted to be that girl that people constantly like pity, because I felt like my channel kind of blew up on that, or at least in my subconscious. I'm like, I feel like anytime I do a video that really does well or people really watch is because it's a sad video, and I wanted to kind of really move away from that so that when I do post my videos, they're not sad. Fuck. So basically that was one of the reasons why I'm like, I'm gonna do my vlogs and I'm gonna be active doing fun stuff, kind of sharing about my real life, but not too like intrusive. And with my mom having cancer and stuff, I kind of made like a light of it. I know in one of the videos that I was giving you guys kind of like an update, it was a vlog video. I tried to like do my vlogs, and then in that vlog I'd be like, okay, like this is how my mom's doing. In one of the vlogs I saw a comment basically saying, how did she talk about her mom having cancer like just so casual? And to me it was just my way of like coping with the whole thing. I didn't want to sit and do this right now. What I'm doing, basically dedicating a whole video just me being fucking sad and crying. I didn't want to do that. So when I do talk about it, I will basically be doing like my makeup with something and just kind of like slip it in there versus like doing this. I didn't want that. But anyway, so it's kind of crazy that I do feel like this video had to be just fully dedicated to my mom, because I just couldn't come back. Like I couldn't come back on YouTube with just my vlogs, like just straight up. Like my mom just fucking passed away, so I'm sorry I'm cursing a lot. It's just fuck. Shit. Basically, so I'm gonna take a break. I'm just gonna take a quick break. So, like I was saying, let's just go back to my mom. It's not about me. Yeah, so my mom moved to California, and then we got the apartment. And so when she has an appointment, she'll come do her chemotherapy and then come back to the apartment and stay for like few days. Sometimes her chemo is like 2 or 3 times a week, so it wouldn't make sense for her to go back to the house an hour away and then come back every day. So she basically like crash here, and then the next day we go again. And so me and my sister have been doing that kind of back and forward, but my older sister was actually the main person that was taking her to her chemotherapy, like when I'm working and stuff. My mom went and got the biopsy in Virginia, and so she had told us like, yeah, she has breast cancer. We're kind of wondering like what stage it was, and it just kind of took them forever to tell us what stage. I don't even think it was ever clear what stage my mom had, but the biopsy that they did, you know, when they took like a piece of the skin around the boob area, my mom's thing never healed. Like to the day that she died, it never healed. It just kept getting worse. Like literally, physically, it was eating up her boobs. Like you could see, this is like too much information. But her boobs was exposed. It was like an open wound, and it was just so sad and depressing to see her like go through that. Like literally her body was like, not to say rotten, but it was just an open wound that kept getting bigger and bigger, and it was just going up to her neck. The doctors here obviously started her chemo. Her first time getting chemo, she had a reaction to it, so they ended up like switching the chemo to something else. And then she started doing something else, and it was kind of like, okay, going okay, but was it really doing anything to the cancer? Not really. So they switched it again to something else, and she also did radiation. So we're kind of going back and forward with that, and you know, on like the weeks after she gets her chemo, you could like physically see how like drained she is and just tired. But my mom, when I tell you, that woman would not sit, okay? She did not want to be seen as a sick person, so she would get up. Like that's one thing. My mom, there was like alarms, because I have the alarm system on my phone, and when I'm here the alarm early in the morning would be going on, and I'm getting a call from the security people saying that the alarm is going on. Is anything going on? Like, is everything okay? And then I find out it was my mom. She went and opened the back door to go water the garden early in the morning, and she didn't turn off the security thing alarm. So she literally like never wanted to sit. Okay. But coming down to like later time, I feel like kind of like, I know I'm everywhere. Honestly, I didn't write anything down. I'm just like going with the flow. Kind of earlier on, the doctors had told us like the chances of my mom surviving this cancer, because it was like aggressive, and they told us like they really honestly don't think that she was going to make it to Christmas. And with our fate and my mom's fate, we honestly was like, okay, like, yeah, doctors say, they do say this all the time, but like my mom is definitely going to like survive this, or at least she would get way more time that they, you know, basically said. And so the thought of like her not making it to Christmas was just like not even like a thing. I was just like, no way, you know what I mean? She did, she also got radiation, and I felt like she was doing so much better when she does her radiation. You could just see like she's more energized, she can move around a bit more easy and really try to get like things done, versus like when she was doing chemo. My thought was like, honestly, like, let's just stop the chemo. I watched my aunt go through having breast cancer because I lived with her, and just seeing how she was like slowly just like deteriorating, and she just completely changed. She couldn't remember who I was. It was kind of like scary. I was talking to my sister, not necessarily my mom, because I know my mom kind of didn't want to have those conversations like, maybe we should stop doing the chemo. Like she has so much more energy, and she's so much more alert and present when she's not doing the chemo. So why not just like let her rest? But my mom wanted to do the last chemo. So they basically told us that they're going to try this last chemo. I guess it's a different kind of chemo that they've been doing on her. They're going to try this. This is like the last result. And if this doesn't work, then there's really nothing else that we could do. She was just rest, you know. And around that time, she was doing like really bad. Now this is when, if you guys watch the last vlog that I did, I went and picked up my uncle from the airport, and I took him to the house because he came to see my mom. He hasn't seen her like in about a year. So he came to visit her. So she wasn't really doing great. Like even on that video, I think I probably took out a part where I was like, yeah, I'm going home, you know, since you guys have been asking about my mom and I've been giving you guys update, but I never showed you guys her. That literally on that vlog, I was like, when I get home, I'm going to like, you know, tell my mom how much like you guys been like praying for her and asking about her. I was like, when I get home, I'm going to like, you know, finally like maybe put her on camera and tell her about you guys. But when I got home to, you know, drop my uncle, the state that she was in, it was just like so bad. She was like so down. I was like, okay, like no way I'm gonna do that. So in that video, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be, you know, showing you guys my mom today, but just no, you know, she's not doing so great. So that was like, I posted the vlog on Sunday. So I had like posted that vlog on Sunday, which was October 24th. And if you guys know, my birthday was like coming up October 27th. And a lot of the trips that like I've been planning, or my friends have been asking me like, what are you gonna do for your birthday? I'm like, nothing, because I really couldn't think of like being in another country and something terrible happening to my mom, me not being there. So I've been like pushing stuff away. But like for my birthday, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go to Jamaica for a few days. I think it was like 3 days, and I'll be right back. And I was gonna leave the same day on my birthday on the 27th. So I went home, dropped my uncle, obviously. And like that Monday, the 25th, just making sure that Monday, the 25th of October, was when my mom has the last chemo that she's going to be trying. And my sister was taking her, and I also had like filming that I was doing at the house. So my sister got in the car with my mom. And actually that day, we were basically talking with my mom, you know, because she was like not able to really stand, and her coming downstairs was so hard. Like it took a good maybe 10 minutes for her to like walk down the stairs, like with my uncle and my sisters like holding her. But she came down, and I was like, well, Mom, don't you think like it's time for us to like get you a wheelchair? And she did not want that. She did not want a wheelchair. She did not want a stick, nothing. She said no. And that's just her strength. She's like, I'm not going to let this like get to me. Yes, it might take forever, and yes, I might be in pain, but I don't want that. But anyway, they got in the car that Monday to head to her appointment. Was it raining? I think it might have been like raining that day, and I was upstairs getting ready to like shoot my video. And as I was getting ready, maybe like 5 minutes or so, the electricity just kind of went off, and I just thought it was like the electricity in my bathroom. So I was like, what is going on? And then I get a quick call from my sister. The phone rings like once, and then it cut off, and then she texted me. She said accident, and I just assumed she was saying she accidentally called me. So I didn't look until she texted me again, and she said come. Like it was just like everywhere. She's like come. So I opened the message, and she like sent a location, and I was like, what the hell happened? So I got my friend that was living with us, and we just drove to the location, which was like 5 minutes away from the house, right at a traffic intersection. And right there, I found out that my mom and my sister got into an accident. A big black truck literally just like hit them. And I'm still like surprised that they walked out of there like alive. My sister was very frantic, shaking, crying. It's raining, it's cold. And I went over, the ambulance are there taking my mom. Are you okay? She could barely like really talk that much. But she was like, yeah. And I had told them like, you guys be careful. Like literally they're just going for her chemotherapy. She has cancer. Can you guys be gentle? Because at first they were like waiting for my mom to put herself on the crutches. Was it crutches? You know, the thing that they lay you on. And I'm like, you guys like, yeah, actually have to have her. Like she can't do that. And so that's when they actually like got her up. Physically, it looks like, you know, like, yeah, she's okay. Obviously she's in pain with the whole chemotherapy and cancer. But with the accident, it seems like she was fine. And my sister also, even though the side of her car was the one that got hit, she was like, she seems physically fine, thank God, because anything could have happened there. So they rushed my mom to the hospital, and then later on we took my sister to the emergency room. It was just a lot going on that week. It was just too fucking much. But anyway, took her to the hospital. She got checked, and they said everything is fine. Everything is fine. With my sister, I think they said my sister might have had like a minor concussion, but everything is fine, and they were sent back home. Cool. I went back to LA, like, okay, cool. And then like calling and checking, everything okay. And then the next morning, my sister, and that Monday, My mom didn't obviously get to go to the chemo therapy because of the accident. You know, we are called, my sister had called the hospital and told them, and so they were just like, okay, don't worry, you don't have to bring her, just let her, you know, rest or whatever. And so the next morning my sister called me. She was like, yeah, I'm about to bring Oma to the hospital, the Cedars-Sinai hospital, so that they can see her, because they told me to bring her because she's not speaking, like she can't speak for some reason. My mom was not speaking, so they was like, yes, please, like bring her ASAP. So she was taken to the hospital, Cedars-Sinai hospital. That's the hospital that she's getting her chemotherapy. So the doctor was like, bring her in as soon as possible. My sister brings her in, and obviously you guys know it's COVID time, so we all cannot be there. So my sister was the one that was there with her. And yeah, so in the evening my sister came back and she's like, yeah, she's at the regular like hospital's room and stuff. So yeah, you know, she can't speak, but they're gonna keep her like overnight to see how she's gonna be doing. And I'm just thinking like, okay, it's just gonna be like something overnight to just check and really make sure that she's okay. Okay. Okay, so that was Monday, and then Tuesday was when she was taken to the hospital. Okay, so that Tuesday night, you know, my sister comes back, and my uncle also came to the apartment as well, and my little sister was all here. So we were all here, just kind of, you know, waiting to hear from the doctors, and nothing, basically. Cool. We go to sleep, right? And for some reason, my number is the first number that the hospital calls anytime they needed to talk to us. So I'm sleeping. It's like maybe 12 a.m. at this time, and I get a call, and I woke up and I saw it was from Beverly Hills, and I knew right away it was from the hospital. Picked up, and I'm still kind of in daze, sleeping mode and stuff, you know, trying to understand what the doctor is saying. I couldn't understand, so I went and woke my sister up. And I'm like, okay, talk to them since you were the one that was at the hospital, so maybe you understand what they're saying. I don't know what they're saying. And so basically, they called us to tell us that my mom's blood pressure was not doing well. I cannot really remember. My brain is so foggy right now. I don't know if they say it was like super high or super low, but it was something like that. It just was not great. And they have to rush her to the ICU, basically. And also at the same time, the doctor was trying to say something. He kept kind of like speaking to us in like medical term, and me and my sister was not understanding. Like, I know we all started kind of getting frustrated, even the doctor, because you're like, we do not understand what you are saying. Like, okay, yes, you're taking her to ICU, but then what? Like, what are you trying to say? But basically, he was basically telling us that it might be coming to an end for my mom, so they need to know like what they should do. Should they put her in comfort, which is something I've never heard. Like, I've never in my life have to ever deal with this or ever decide anything like this. Like, so put her in comfort, like, what are you talking about? Yes, we want her to be as comfortable as possible, meaning for her, like, if you guys are gonna like give her some drugs that's gonna make her pain not be painful as much, but not like my mom basically deciding if we should let her go. But they got another doctor, I think, to kind of explain everything to us, and they were waiting for us on the phone to like basically give them the answer. And we were all looking at each other like, can we call you guys back? Like, we didn't know what to say to them. And so we set up, and literally, I don't even think, did we even get back to bed? I don't think so. But they were like, okay, well, you guys can come in the morning. And so the morning comes, and we're getting ready, and I think they called us again. They was like, you guys, you know, we thought we were gonna kind of like take a shower again. I don't think we were taking it that serious, honestly. Like, so someone could tell you like your loved one will like die in an hour and you probably still would not believe it. Like, I mean, that's not what they say, but it's like, okay, you guys are just saying that, but like, we're still not, I guess we're just not accepting that it was coming to that point. But anyway, early in the morning again, they called us. We was like, yeah, we're coming in. And it was like, you guys need to come in now. How fast can you guys come in? And we're like, okay, we're coming in, because we're like about 15, 20 minutes from the hospital. We got there, and at first, you know, it was like an issue for us to all get in, because it was my uncle and my two sisters, my little sister and my older sister, and me. So that's 4 of us. And you guys know the hospital only allows like 2 people. Wait, is it 2 people or 1 person at a time? Honestly, it was like, yeah. But anyway, they told us, when you get here, just like tell the security that you guys are in this section, and they will allow all of you guys to come up. We were walking in, seeing other patient, and we got to my mom's room, and she had like tubes in her mouth. Just like, it looks like she was like, I don't even know. Like, I don't think she knew we were there. Maybe subconsciously or like spiritually, emotionally, she felt our presence, but physically not. Like, and I was just in shock. Like, this is real. Like, what in the world? This is happening. But still not thinking like this is gonna be the last day. And by the way, that day was the 27th, and that was actually my birthday. And so we were just sitting there quiet, and then for some moment we just like talked to her, like even if she can't hear us or cannot hear us, we just talked to her, embraced her. But I could honestly say, even while I was sitting there, I was not thinking like this will basically be the last day that I'm seeing my mom alive. This was not, it was not ringing. The doctors came in and basically told us like what is going on, like the tubes that they have her in and stuff. But she was not like breathing by herself. You can hear like the, but she wasn't like really breathing by herself. It was the machine. Well, maybe at that point it was. So again, they basically asked us about like what we want to do, because if it comes to where it's like, do we want her to be comfortable to just kind of go peacefully without any like physical pain, and we came to the conclusion that yes, that's what we want. And it was very hard on all of us to like make that decision, but we also have witnessed my mom go through so much pain physically, and I cannot imagine what she was feeling like emotionally, being that she's been like the backbone of our family like since we were kids. My mom has always been the provider, and I know when she was going through this, she probably felt like she's just not much of a help. And when I tell you, my mom, even though like she was living in the house, and I'm not asking for like helping with rent or anything, she was like I want to help however I can. She tried to get government assistance just so that she could still provide something that she can. So I know it was very hard for her. But anyway, so we basically agreed that okay, yes, we would rather her, if it's time for her, we would rather her be in comfort. But even with that being said, I don't think we still thought that that day was going to be the day. that it was gonna happen. Like in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, maybe we have like, sorry, fuck. I'm thinking like, okay, maybe we have like 2 to 3 more days with her. Like, it just was not ringing in my head that it was gonna be that day. So he's sitting there. I don't even think we were like planning on like leaving. We probably came in at like maybe like 10 something a.m. and we were not like planning on like, okay, well, it's time for us. We probably gonna only leave when they tell us like visiting hours is over. So we're sitting there, and so me and my little sister decided that, okay, we're gonna just like go to the cafeteria and like just grab something to eat. And we went, grabbed something to eat, came back, sitting on the bed. My little sister is kind of, I don't know, like, I think kind of like at the head of where my mom's head is standing, and my older sister was like to the side, and she was on the phone with like, I think the insurance company because of the incident that happened on Monday. She was on the phone with them, and then the doctor and the nurse came in. And, you know, we're kind of sitting, and at this point, we were kind of like just having a regular conversation and kind of like actually laughing. And the doctors came in. It was like the most peaceful thing I've ever seen. I have never seen someone like die in front of me. I just always imagine it being like so like dramatic thing, like traumatizing thing of like the person probably like shaking until the life in them is like done. But yeah, we were just like talking, and so the doctor came in and he's like kind of like talking to my sister, and again, like, we're not understanding what he's trying to convey, because he didn't come in and just say like, oh, your mom has passed away. He kind of came in like, yeah, I don't even remember like what he said, but I'm sitting here like, my sister's talking to him, and she was like, what? Like, what are you saying? And he said, your mom just passed away. And literally, me and my sisters were confused. I looked at him like with so much disgust, to be honest, because I was like, what are you talking about? Like, we're sitting here and we didn't hear anything, like nothing at all. The thingy that she had in her mouth is the machine, I guess, was the one making it sound like my mom was still breathing, but she wasn't. When they came in, so when he said that, I basically was like, what are you talking about? Like, when did this happen? And he was like, just right now. That's why we walked in. And so on their end, he was like, because we saw it on, you know, the monitor that she basically is gone. And it was just the most shocking thing ever. And I think I probably like froze for a minute. My sister's like crying. Me and my little sister, we were just kind of like still sort of like in disbelief. It just did not like a ring in our head yet, until like a few minutes later. That's when it like finally like registered, like, our mom is gone. I mean, I just never thought I would, you know, experience this. I don't think any of us, I mean, my sister, you know, who talk, we're just like, yeah, like, we imagine like our mom being there, we getting married, when we are having kids, and her having like grandkids and stuff. Like, you imagine all that, and the fact that she's not gonna be here, like, cancer really fucking got her. It's just it's too much to handle. But I just feel like over time. I don't cry every single day, but I feel like every now and then we all get like emotional and just kind of break down. But at the same time, like, we know for a fact that she's at peace. Like, she fought so much, she was in so much pain, and we know it was for the best and it was her time. Even though I'm crying now, it's just kind of emotional to speak about it. I am definitely like finding my peace. And I know my mom will want that, and we know that for in fact, like, she's definitely in a better place, and she's not in pain, and she's literally with her sister and her brother, because like maybe like a few weeks before my mom died, her younger brother also died, I think of like a heart attack in Nigeria. So it's like, I know it's a lot on the family back home to just have that debt back to back. But I just know for a fact that they are together up there watching over us. But yeah, so we had her funeral on November 21st. What we had at the funeral, kind of like her bio and stuff, and yeah, I really don't know. I'm trying to like find some sort of like meaning to why my mom died the same day as my birthday. I don't know why. I'm trying to like figure out like, what is it, like, why on my birthday? I guess we'll never know. But yeah, she was born August 23rd, 1968. And she died October 27, 2021. Yeah, we had, honestly, a beautiful funeral for her. Like, when we went to the funeral home to see her, she looked like she was just sleeping, you know. And I just remember the countless night of her not being able to like sleep properly, not getting the proper sleep because she was in like so much pain, and just seeing her like laid out so peacefully, and she just looked so beautiful. I said, yeah, she's at peace. We buried her November 20th in Maryland. So it ended up like taking her body from here in California and going to Maryland to bury her closer to her sister. Because if you guys know, like, we came to America only having like my aunt and her kids, and so when my aunt passed away, we did her funeral in Maryland. So, you know, at first we initially thought like, okay, maybe we can like go to Nigeria, because that's where most of the family are anyway, just so that you know, her body would be there. But boo, it is expensive to do that. So we thought the next best thing was to have her as close to her sister as possible. So we had the funeral at the same funeral home, and literally like maybe 50 feet or maybe 100 feet, like 50 feet away from her sister's grave. But yeah. And yeah, so we put my mom to rest. But sometimes I kind of like keep forgetting that we actually had the funeral already, and I still think like the body is at the mortuary for some reason. I guess I just wanted to share this video with you guys, just because some of you guys have been part of their journey, even though you didn't get to like see my mom in the videos. And literally it'd be like weeks that I don't talk about my mom, and some of you guys will randomly send me emails, DMs, and just like asking like, hey, how's your mom doing? And I have to say like,
I appreciate that so much. One thing I said that I learned about this whole my mom passing is like building a community, because the people that came out to support us was just amazing. To see people from work, from like people from her work, from her church, and just people that she had met that came out to come with us to her resting place. It's just amazing. So cherish every moment you get with your loved ones as much as possible, and just be kind to people, because one thing I know my mom always did was just being overly kind. I said overly kind because sometimes people have taken advantage of her, but my mom always sees the good. But I did a eulogy, and one of the things I mentioned was the fact when we were back in Nigeria, how I told you guys my mom had like a store in like a university. So like a lot of the kids will come, and some would not have like money for food, and they would ask my mom if she could provide that for them. And my mom would do that, you know, and they would tell her, hey, I'm gonna come back and pay you. And my mom honestly would never, I've never seen a day when my mom is like chasing people to go get her money back. Some of the students would come back and give her the money, and some would not. But I remember vividly like some that would come back even years after graduating that university, and they would come back, college, in different places, college basically. They would come back and just like thank my mom. And even when we got burned, a lot of the students like put themselves together and literally came and provide a lot of provisions for us while we're at the hospital. And it is all because of like her kindness, her open heart to just anybody. When my friends are having issues at home and they don't have a place to be, I'll ask my mom, can my friend come and stay with us? It was always a yes. So she's definitely like showed me how she can just always just be so open and kind to everyone. So that is what I'm taking with me, and hopefully I can be as kind as my mom. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. This video is sad, but just cherish the moment and just be there for your loved ones, even the strong ones. You just never know what someone is going through. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I guess I'm gonna leave you guys with my saying, remember to always be your own kind of beautiful. Yeah, bye.